back to Project Be Well Podcast. My name is Akash Jain.
My name is Jay Manangi.
And I'm Gokul Narayan.
So guys, this is part 2 of our series where we're talking about different rule changes that can be implemented in our video. How the series started was like in a previous video we were doing some we had this like Reddit shooting chart, like showing the shooting charts of like all the shots shot in the NBA for the last like 20 years. And after that, me and of course like during the video we're talking about different things like rule changes that can happen to the NBA. So that kind of spurred like this new series that we're trying to do, where we're talking about different rule changes like that could be just to the NBA, like how the game's played, or how All-Star Weekend can be set up, or how draft lottery, or like the amount of players on the roster, or amount of fouls, and all that type of stuff. So the series is gonna be like a lot of episodes. There's so many rules we can talk about, and so many different things we can talk about. There's changes that we all think that is possible, but today we're gonna talk about one that's more determined, like the seeding wise. So like in football, when you when you're playing in the NFL, right? Football usually there's division leaders and then there's the wild card teams, right? So we're thinking about like how that could be translated into like if we can do that with the NBA, because the NBA has divisions, right? But those divisions are kind of useless. Goko, you would agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
Goko,
they just affect the number of times you played that team, but
yeah.
Goko,
would you explain a little bit more on how like the football standings work?
Yeah. So let's take the division: 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals, and Rams. So this season, 49ers, Seahawks, it went up to the last game, and then I think that changed everything. The 49ers won, and that really like affected the Seahawks since the 49ers got a bye because of that. And this rule is much harder for teams in the division, which in the case that like even if you're good, you'll have a harder path. But in NBA, it doesn't matter if you're good or bad. The path is the same. Like, but like, say you're in a competitive division, that really changes everything. In the NBA, is where they said the division you're in doesn't matter. Just the amount of times you play that team, which doesn't. So nothing happens to you in the playoffs. But being in a complicated division can really affect your chances for the playoffs, giving you a harder route. And yeah.
Yeah, so like NBA has 6 divisions on right now. So if like it would work similarly. Like everyone, like I think the NBA did this type of thing back in the day when they had I don't know when it ended exactly, where the system was like all 3 division winners would be awarded the first, second, and third seed respected by their record, and after that the next 5 spots will be determined like just by record wise. So I think we're like reincorporating that strategy again. Like how would the NBA change if that same system would work? So all 3 division winners, right? So division winners will be the top 3 seeds, and that will be sorted out by the record of the 3 division winners. And after that, the next 5 things will be determined by the next 5 records. So like in the NBA, I don't think like divisions are. I don't know if there's just one necessarily bad division.
I mean, there's
like,
good divisions like Pacific, with the Lakers, Clippers, Warriors.
Yeah, that could cause some problems.
That could cause a lot of problems. Yeah, that could totally change, like...
So those teams would be playing against each other most of the time?
No. It'll still be the regular, like, 82-game format. It's just
but, like some of them might not be able to make it to the playoffs. Like, it's really hard for 2 teams in the NFL in the same division to make it to the playoffs. So 3 would never happen. So basically, you have the Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, right? Imagine the playoffs without the Clippers.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's pretty interesting like this, right? So like, if I'm looking, okay, I put up the divisions right now, right? So the Western Conference has the Northwest Division, Pacific Division, and Southwest Division, right? So the top 3, so the winners of the division are the Lakers, Nuggets, and Rockets. So those guys will get the top 3 seeds. After that, we have the Lakers, Jazz, Thunder will get the rest of the playoff. The Clippers, Jazz, Thunder will get the rest of the seeds, and then there's some other stuff that'll have to be like Mavericks and stuff like that will get it, like depending on record. So like, and then on the other side, like there's some trash division. Like the Eastern Conference
I'm finding one right now.
Yeah, the Eastern Conference, the Atlantic Division is kind of powerful with Raptors, Celtics, 76ers. So like that could cause like a problem where Celtics and 76ers will be lower seeding because like the division, the Raptors are winning the division right now. In the Central Division, we have the Bucks, Pacers, Bulls, Pistons, and Cavs. So the Bucks and Pacers would have this. And the Southeast Division, which is the worst division in the league, has Miami Heat, Orlando Magic.
So
the
Heat
Wizards
and Magic would be the only ones
that have a chance, but like it would depend on record, and there's only like 8. Like, so if we're doing this like right now, right? Like how it's working out right now. So the Lakers would have the first seed. The
Lakers, Clippers would make it.
No, I'm doing like seed. So Lakers would have the first seed. The Nuggets would have the second seed. The Rockets would have the third seed. After that, the Clippers would have the 4th seed.
No, I don't think Clippers would get 4th because they're in the same division. So I think you would have to give it to.
Why would they change it like that though?
No, because like it doesn't matter about record. Like you've seen that in the NFL. Like, say that I'm going back to the 49ers and Seahawks, right? They both were, I think, 12-3 or 13-3, right? But then there's some teams 9-7 that were above the Seahawks because
that's the way that works is because the Eagles won the division. That's why they were higher than the Seahawks.
Yeah, exactly. So
in the Lakers standpoint, right? There's only 3 divisions for each conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Nuggets, Lakers, and Rockets are the division winners. After that, it's based on record. So like how in the football, I don't remember all the.
Oh yeah, So I thought you didn't say Rockets before Clippers, my bad.
Okay, yeah, Rockets, and then it'll be like Jazz, Thunder, Mavericks, and some other stuff like that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't change much, right?
I mean, it would change the seeing games, like
a little bit, but it would make winning the division a little bit more important because you would get guaranteed home court advantage.
It would give home court advantage to the worst teams in the little bit worse teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, like this Southeast division, man. Like, what is this division?
Like you could have like the Hawks in that division having home court.
Yeah.
And then
this means that a bunch of rookie teams might have a chance to make it.
If they win their division, yeah.
But I like the way the NBA is right now.
Yeah.
I don't really like baseball and football either.
I mean, it's a little
of course.
messy.
Say your thoughts here, because you don't watch as much football as like me and Goku do sometimes. So like, what do you think about this change? This used to be the format for the NBA for a long time. Like, I don't know when it stopped, but they used to do what I was explaining now.
Yeah, I don't know that I like it, but I mean, it's definitely interesting to think about. It's all good thing. I don't think it's that good for the NBA.
Why would you say it caused net? Is there any actual negatives in this system? What would you say?
It's not like negatives, but it's just that some teams would do better than others in the playoffs, like in this situation. Like, it would become super one-sided, because like if they did that in today's day and age, then the Hawks would probably be making the playoffs, and the Bulls maybe. Right?
No, but the thing is, look, if you look at the divisions, unlike the NFL, like, because the NFL has some trash divisions, the divisions in the NBA are actually even. Like, so like
we caught one division that's not the Southeast.
Yeah, the Southeast. But like the Atlantic division will be like next year will be the hardest division ever because you'll have the Raptors, Celtics, 76ers, Nets.
And I don't think Knicks can do something.
I don't think the Knicks will do anything.
I doubt it,
right?
but yeah.
Yeah, but that's the hardest division in the NBA. That can really change. That can really like ruin like someone there.
That's where it becomes like a little bit slightly unfair, maybe, because in that situation, like the Knicks aren't gonna make the playoffs for years now.
Yeah,
even if
they're not gonna. I mean, yeah.
Of course, they were already not gonna make the playoffs to begin with.
No, but he is right. Like some teams that you would want to see in the playoffs won't have a chance because they're in a hard.
No, not necessarily. If you think
but
about
it,
everything is still the same. It's just that the seeding will get changed. The same 8 teams that usually deserve to go in the playoffs, they'll be like no one's getting kicked out unless the division like so like the 8 seeds like if
no,
it's
but
from
like
the South.
with three powerhouses and like the seed. I mean 3 powerhouses in a division. Yeah, I guess you're right, but that'll totally affect the seeding and it'll make it like kind of boring. There's like some teams that are so dominant with home court
No, not necessarily. Like, okay, right now we have if we go on the Western Conference side, we have Lakers, Nuggets, Rockets. If I'm and then they'll have like the 4 and I see. Okay, it might be a little boring. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, on the Western Conference side, yeah, I can see it because then if you're going like Clippers, Jazz, Thunder, Mavericks, like that's kind of boring. It doesn't create first round thing, but imagine like a second round where it'd be like Nuggets, Rockets, and then like Clippers, Lakers. That would be an exciting second round.
Yeah, but I guess there are some unnecessary games that will be played because they might lose because home court. And I don't know why the NFL does this rule too.
Yeah. I personally, I would not. I think it would help like second round matchups a little bit better, and first round actually I think it would help, especially like an Eastern Conference stands because like the division winners are the Bucks will be the first seed, and the Raptors will be the second seed, and the Heat will be the third seed. After that will be like Celtics, Sixers, Pacers, and then there'll be like the Magics and the Nets of the world, right? So like it does change like seeding a little bit, but I don't think the change is that drastic for it to be like a big problem. The only way I see it's a problem is where like the Southeast division, like a couple years ago without Jimmy Butler, like this division is trash. Like straight garbage.
That's
like imagine like 2 years ago where they had like where John Wall first got injured and like the Heat weren't that good. A 41 winning, like a 500 team would have the third seed.
Yeah,
that's where people can see there's a
Magic would be in the third seed.
The Magic would be the third seed. That's where people have a problem. Like last year, like the Magic were the only team from that division to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, the Heat.
No, last year the Heat didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, they made 2 years ago.
Yeah. So the Magic will be the third seed. So that's where the problem comes.
Yeah, just seeding. But seeding has a lot of effect in the playoffs. We've seen that.
Yeah, so like, who will want to give the Magic a home court advantage in the first round?
Yeah.
It depends. It's interesting scenarios because, like, okay, I say a division is trash now, like the Southeast division. In a couple years, they'll get all the first overall picks and they'll become the best division in the league, right? So, like, it's always gonna be fluctuating. Like in the NFL, sometimes the divisions are trash. Like the Cowboys and Eagles division was garbage for a while, and then I heard they're like the worst division in it, like throughout NFL history. But then there's times where they're the best division in the league, right? So like it always fluctuates on that type of thing, right? I see it as interesting, but I personally I would not like if it happened.
Yeah.
The NBA used to do it like this, but I think they stopped because they saw like you can't have a 40-win team be the third seed. Because like this year the divisions are a little bit more balanced. Like, but if we were to go back like if we would go in depth and look at every year, like we obviously won't do that because that'll get repetitive at some point, right? But like if you look at it, there might be some interesting circumstances that'll happen. Like this year, I would say it's a bit fair because like the teams they're matched up in the top 3 seeds and the last and the other seeds, like the standings are a little different, but like it doesn't cause that much of an effect. But like years past, like I remember there's a story when this used to happen. There was a team that won 38 games that was the third seed. I don't remember which exact team, but there's stuff when this rule was there in the NBA. So I don't think. Would you rank your possibility on this actually being a change? There's no rumors about it, but like let's say like 10 years from now, like Adam Silver or whoever's the commissioner at that time, would you think they would want to implement this change to like out of 10, like 10 being it definitely happened, 1 will be like no. Carson Goko.
Definitely not. Alright. I think the way they're doing it now is fair.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I'd say 0. Like they already have a bunch of rules they wanna try to get to implement, but I don't think they don't have time for a rule like this.
It's definitely 0. This would change the whole.
I would say 0, and of course, I don't exactly agree with you that would change the whole system. There will be years where it becomes a problem, but there will be years where it becomes more interesting. Like this year, it's actually interesting how it works. But like, there's definitely years where it becomes a problem, where like a 38 win team is going to be the third seed. But like, it just doesn't work for the NBA way. It doesn't work because you can't have. Then like, what's the point of like if you're not winning your division? What's the point?
Yeah, then people will just start trying. Oh, they won't even try.
Yeah.
And the reason that, yeah, like, and also how the draft works then. Like
The draft will still be the same, but like.
It'll still be the same. Okay.
Yeah. No, but like a team like you know how like higher seeded teams like a 38 win team should get like a 16 overall pick, but their pick will be like 24 now.
Yeah.
So
that
balance for them, I guess. But
it's a little balance.
Yeah,
Hey, you'll be up in the standings. You'll have home court advantage, but your draft pick won't be 16. It'll be 24.
yeah, I think that'll hurt them because they won't get better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's the
And the
trade.
reason that football can do that is because there's a lot of players in the draft, so they still have a chance of getting better.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Yeah.
guess.
I think like teams. I don't know if like teams will take playoff experience over like a higher draft pick.
Yeah.
If you're at the
We're always
curve,
looking for the future, right? So,
like I would say like in the Magic case, I don't think they care about having a 16 overall pick. They'll take the third seed in the playoffs. They don't care if they get swept, but like they'll take it and get the experience for their team. They get the 24th overall pick, and they can pick a player that'll fit their system more than a best player available situation or something like that. But personally, I would like to say this, even though I seem like a little bit more like I like the thing, I personally don't like it. I think it's good where it's now. I think the NBA can implement different rules to help seeding a little bit more, but we'll definitely discuss them in the future if we find anything that's interesting. But I don't think this one is the way they should go if there's actual problem in NBA seeding. And also another thing is we talked a little bit about football here. This is an NBA based channel, but if you definitely want us to do some football videos, we'll do a couple. We won't do like a lot. If you guys want it, then we'll do it. If you guys necessarily don't want it, then we won't talk about it. We'll just probably mention here and there if there's a reason why to mention football. Gokul and Karsh, any final thoughts before we end off the video?
no, that's
it's pretty important to me. I learned how the football seeding works. So yeah.
Yeah. I forgot to ask you, what's your guys' interest on doing football videos? You and Karsh and you. Gokul.
I mean, it would be fun to branch out, so I'm open to it.
How about you,
Yeah.
Gokul?
me too.
Alright. Okay. Is there any final thoughts before we end off the video?
No.
Karsh? Okay. Guys, thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe, please like, and there will be 2 other videos that we recorded in the past that you guys should check out at this segment. Bye.
Bye.